Hello, and welcome back to Whole Lotta with Nathan and the other guy.
That's me. That's my name.
Yep, the other guy. How's it going?
It's going fine, Nathan. Yeah, it's all right, I guess. How about you?
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, that's fair. What are we doing today?
Today we're doing our podcast.
Interesting. That's what this is?
Yes.
Huh. Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. What are we actually doing?
Okay, so I guess cutting down to it this week, we are doing French fries.
Yes, we are. Fast food French fries.
Which one do we have first?
We have Shake Shack. It's our first. Now, we did try one of each before we started while they were hot, because they're not hot now, and I don't know if I necessarily want to microwave them. So keep in mind that these are now cold.
They were very good fresh, though.
Yes, all of them were very good fresh. Oh, wow.
We got just plain ones. I know they had like a bunch of special ones on the menu.
Yeah.
I think if I got the cheese one, with it being cold, I think that might have been pretty good.
I don't like this as much cold as I like it hot. Surprise. Wow. It's not bad, though.
It just feels like
It's
not bad. I'm not too upset about it. But yeah, I think that cheese sauce one they had cold would probably still be pretty good. Just add a little more flavor.
Well, cheese fries is something that we could potentially do in the future.
Yeah. I think for now, just put this at number one.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
I'll also put it at number one. How much did these cost?
So for two, it was like I think $8.43, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, kind of expensive. Shake Shack is kind of expensive, and yeah. I don't think Shake Shack lives up to the prices that they charge. It's not bad by any means. It's just not as much. It's not terrible. It's just not as much as they charge. It's not that quality.
Yeah, it's not great. That good. It's still at the end of the day just some fast food.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number one, they were really good hot.
Yeah.
They're okay cold. So interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see if the other ones will also end up like that, but we shall see.
I imagine something like that at least.
Yes. Well, one thing that started off cold and is potentially maybe getting a bit hot, a bit spicy, a bit warm, shall we say, is Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, so we tried to get back in this past couple of weeks.
Yes, we gave it another go. We played it at launch. I think we talked about it actually on the podcast, if I remember.
I think we did.
And it was definitely not great. I don't know what we said in that episode, but it overall was a pretty not great experience. I still had fun with it, but that was also because I didn't pay for it because of that Game Pass trial. But I was able to have fun, but it was definitely flawed, definitely broken, and the maps on hand at the time were kind of big, which is fantastic.
There wasn't a lot of them, and
no,
they weren't exactly the funnest maps.
No, they felt a little.
They got old fast.
Yeah, and at the time, they're like extraction mode. What is it? Shadow? I don't know.
It was kind of hazard zone.
Yeah, hazard zone. It was kind of like broken. It wasn't working properly. I remember. We didn't get to play it again though, so I don't know if that's worth it. But we did play a little bit of multiplayer. I wish we did play more, but from the little bit that we had, Nathan was having some strange performance issues. Outside of that, though, I'd like to think that we had a pretty good time, and it seemed like a pretty solid game. I didn't experience any sort of glitches or hiccups or anything game halting or breaking.
Yeah, nothing too game breaking happened, at least for us when we were playing. For some reason, I felt like I was getting bottlenecked in the servers or something like that.
Yeah.
Just was not getting good connection to the game.
Yeah, I could see him like he was all the animations, everything he was doing was like half time slower than everyone else. It was weird.
I know it doesn't happen to everybody. Cause I was watched a little bit of a Twitch stream before we got on, and that dude's game was running so smooth. I was like, if my game could run like that, I would play this game all the time. I feel like, because I do enjoy it. Like, I feel myself starting to enjoy it. I just can't get into it because of the performance issue.
Problems.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, that's a testament in itself. I mean, I'd like to think that they're doing an okay job fixing it.
It's really dying after there's not too many players, at least if you go to Steam and look at the game.
I'm curious, actually, how much do we have right now? Steam.
Right now is about 6,000 people on.
So estimate, maybe 6,000 to 8,000 people on Origin, and you've got 12,000, 14,000. Plus, I don't know. I'm not going to count crossplay. We'll just count PC only.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely not a lot, but it's enough to keep a game alive. And I am seeing more and more traction, like positive traction towards this game of people saying like, it's fixed, it's playable, come on back. And from the little experience that we had outside of Nathan's weird connection issues, yeah, I'd say so. They still support it. They're still updating it. They're still fixing it.
And they redid like the class system a little bit.
Yeah, so they're listening a little bit to the people. They added classes back and got rid of like the special. Well, the specialists are still there, but you pick a class instead of picking a person.
Yeah, you pick your person will be based into one of the classes, and then depending on the class, you get a bonus to a certain weapon type. You can use any weapon type with any character still, from the looks of it.
Yeah.
It's just you're the assault class, you get like 3 extra mag for the assault rifle. Then recon, they get the steady aim thing constantly if you're using a sniper. Yeah. Then they added new maps as well.
Yeah, we played on a couple of them, and
I can't remember the name of the first one. The first one was super cool, like some giant
really cool
or something.
Yeah, it was like there was like a field on the ground, like in a canyon, this like big green open area, and then it led up to like the side of a mountain that looked like it was blown apart, and there were massive holes in the mountain that you could run in and out of that led to like bases inside of the mountain. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really cool map. I don't remember what it was called though.
Unfortunately, we didn't get into any the actual tanks.
Yeah, we barely got to play any vehicles because they just kept getting sucked, and we just didn't play enough matches. I do want to continue playing this though, because there's a bit of a there's a good game drought. Let's be honest, but there's definitely an arcade shooter drought as well, which is scary to think. But COD sucks, man. It's awful. I hate it. It's the only game in recent memory that actually makes me depressed. Like, I get very sad when I play it. I'm not even kidding. Like, I feel depression. I play that game. It's not healthy. It's an awful experience.
It's upsetting to my body.
Yes, it is. It is. I feel
what is
worse.
so bad about it?
I could sit here for hours, but I guess to name a couple things, mostly the fact that they don't care about multiplayer. They clearly care about Warzone. So multiplayer just gets shafted. All of the maps are pretty much just ripped out of the open world from Warzone. So they're not fun to play in 6v6. They're all way too big and way too open because they're from a Battle Royale map. There's not enough game modes. What's there is already getting stale. They are drip feeding you content. The game barely works. I've had a problem where the game just crashes randomly. I'm not the only one. Tons of people still have this problem. They still haven't fixed it. The game's been out for 3 or 4 months. They don't care. And last but not least, the game is rigged. They will actively tune your accuracy in battle, depending on your skill level, to have your gun hit more shots or hit less shots. And I know there's been like a lot of schizo conspiracy about that floating around, but I assure you it's real. There is a patent that Activision filed in 2019 when they made Modern Warfare 1 in 2019, and it literally says that verbatim in the patent. It's on Google. It's public documentation. If you don't believe me, just look it up. It's real. I assure you, it's actually real. The game is rigged. It's like a casino. They just want you to spend all of their money, and they want you to keep coming back. It's gross.
Sure,
it's
that's
awful.
real. Like,
I am positive. I'm
some
positive.
people
Look it up.
play the game, and yeah, I don't see them having too much issue with something like that.
I promise you it's real. There's tons of video evidence. I've made my own video, and the patent. It's a real patent. It's made by Activision. You could control F it, and you could look it up. It's real.
I believe the patent's real, but
Yeah, it's like almost like I don't want to believe it, but like, yeah, it sucks. It's real. It's so bad. So I figured, maybe Battlefield could fill in the shoes, because I really like Battlefield, and it was a shame that 2042 was a steaming pile of poopy. But it seems like it's getting back on the straight and narrow, and maybe that will fill the gap. There's also another game coming out called The Finals. That seems like a really cool arcade shooter made by original Battlefield devs from like the first few games. Very excited about that. But to stay on topic, I don't know if Battlefield 2042 is... we haven't played it enough to say like, everything's fixed. It's a perfect game. But it is certainly better than where it was, I can say. All we really did was just play multiplayer. We didn't touch the weird Tarkov mode or Portal. I hear Portal is mostly dead, which is a shame because it's a cool concept.
Yeah, I looked through the custom servers. There was some stuff there, but a lot of at least this old stuff I used to play was just
gone.
I think, yeah.
It's a shame. It
looked like there wasn't as many active servers as well.
Sure.
Like, sure, a bunch of servers, just only like a few the actual people in them.
That sucks. That's a shame, really.
Might not suck though.
Go on.
The next batch of Frenchy fries.
I agree. Let's try it out. This is Burger King. They are cold. Here we go. What a surprise. I also don't like these as much. Cold. As they were hot. They just taste kind of... They almost taste like... They taste stale, but they're not stale. They taste old, but they're not old. They are fresh. They were made right before our eyes, but... Like, just the flavor of the fries, just... it's like old and dusty. Great when hot, though, because you don't taste that. But cold, I'm not a fan.
I think they taste all right.
You? Think they taste all right?
Yeah, not too upset about it. I think I still like the Shake Shack better, just thinking about it fresh, though. I would still prefer the Shake Shack ones. These didn't get as bad as I thought they would.
Fair enough. Where are you going to put them?
I think I put them at number 2 for now. So I got Shake Shack, then Burger King, and the Burger King ones for 2. Were these small or medium?
These are small. Yeah, how much do these cost?
$7.02 for 2 smalls.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of expensive. Because like the Shake Shack ones, you got no choice on the size.
Yeah, you're locked in.
We did like the touchscreen and it didn't give us a choice for size.
I don't think they have it.
I was surprised at how expensive small fries from Burger King's was.
Yeah. Which, again, this is the same company that you could get 10 not delicious, but 10 nuggets for what, like $2?
Yeah.
So really weird that their fries were so expensive. Wasn't expecting that. So definitely not a great value. That's for sure. At least for the small. Yeah. Okay. So Shake Shack 1, Burger King number 2 for now. And that would also be the case if these were hot.
Yes.
What do we have next, Nathan?
So next. So it's 2 movies. I saw both of them. Justin saw one of them.
With Nathan, but yeah, I only saw one of them.
So it's The Menu and Knives Out, Glass Onion. And
Yes.
since I'm a little bit surprised, because when I see the movies come up and like people talk about the films, generally what I see is people will look at The Menu and say, it was a stupid movie, it's boring, doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God.
They weren't happy with the ending of it, but then when I see reviews of Glass Onions, a lot of people, I mean, I've literally seen people say, oh, just because the movie was kind of bad, kind of stupid, but at the very least it was entertaining, so you should let it slide. That means just kind of like, hey, Glass Onion, it's at least an entertaining movie. I just don't understand it. I thought The Glass Onion was kind of just stupid. Because it's like a murder mystery. And I give props to people that write murder mystery because it's not easy. Like making a good story that
It's not easy.
Yeah, a good mystery. And especially for a murder mystery, because like people, they want to try and like solve the mystery as the film goes on. They want to be able to keep up with it and like try and pay attention to find all the clues and like come up with their own guess for who like the murderer is.
And funnily enough, writing a good, the fact that it's hard writing a good murder mystery, from what Nathan has told me, actually is one of the plot points that confuses him. So continue.
Yeah, so like sorry. So like I understand it's tough to make it, but this movie just felt so lazily written with like the twist and everything. Like it would be impossible to try and figure out the film on your own, because like it straight up lies to you and withholds information from you just to kind of take you to a tryst, which the tryst in this film, I'm not going to say what it is, but it's one of like the laziest trysts you can have for the genre, I feel like, especially because there's nothing pointing to the tryst either. Like they kind of just dropped it into the film of like, oh yeah, like this is a part of the film now.
Yeah, from what Nathan was describing, it sounds like they kind of forgot midway through making the movie. They're like, oh, damn, we're supposed to have a plot twist. Let's just go back and reshoot some scenes and throw it in there. Okay, cool. All right.
And
you can't tell me that's good. Like, you can't just say, lazy writing is fine because it was an enjoyable movie. No. I love, I mean, this is a video game, so it's a strange comparison. I just can't think of a shitty movie that I liked off the top of my head. But I love Dead Island 1. I thought it was a great game. Beat it maybe 4 or 5 times. It is objectively bad. It's a very bad game. It's not good. It's made poorly, but I still love it. Doesn't mean I think it's a good game. No, it's very bad. And the same thing should apply for everything, including movies, specifically this movie. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, another problem I had with the film, with Glass Onion, was that it's very easy to meta the film. Because before I watched the movie, the only thing I heard was, hey, in the film they follow the director is super liberal, so he made scenes of them following COVID protocol. So I instantly was like, all right, if the director was liberal, like I know exactly what the criteria to be the villain in this movie is. And as soon as a character matching the description walked onto the screen, I was like, all right, yeah, no, it's 100% this guy. And based just knowing that about the director, I was right. That's exactly who it was.
Yeah.
And it kind of was just like, oh, shocker, they are now. It almost felt super forced to the conclusion of how they got that guy to be the villain.
I agree from what you were telling me.
Yeah. But then with a movie like The Menu, me and Justin saw this one.
I cannot comprehend.
Entertaining. It was cool. I enjoyed.
It was great.
I can understand some people thinking a little too over dramatic for what the message was or something like that.
I guess, but like I said, like the movie is The Menu. Like everything, how the movie was crafted, to the performances, to the story, fits the actual performance in the movie too. It's so meta. It works perfectly. It doesn't matter if it's like over dramatic, because the story is over dramatic. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if it's coming off correctly. It's supposed to be that way. That's the point, because it's artsy fartsy crap. So of course they're going to present it like that.
This is Editor Justin. I just listened to that part and it made no sense. So to basically try and explain for the none of you that care, what I meant was the movie itself, in terms of production, from the runtime to the performance to the pacing, mirrors almost exactly the actual movie that's happening in terms of its perfectionist attitude and over the topness of it all. The menu itself, the chef wants it to be perfectly crafted. Each dish has a perfect time where it's supposed to come out and leave. Nothing overstays its welcome. The entire experience isn't supposed to overstay its welcome, and it's all over the top because it's rich people on an island, and you know, it's crazy. Whatever. And the same thing is applicable to, like I said, the production. The performances were, you know, like perfectly crafted. The one chick did like 800 takes to get a gasp right when a glass shatters. And the movie does not overstay its welcome at all, and each scene is put in and taken out at the exact moment that you want it to, with brand new surprises each time, just like The Menu. And lastly, the food critic lady in the movie, I think it was her, I don't know, someone in the movie's like, you have to, you know, this is a whole experience to see the overarching story of The Menu. That's what you're here for, the theater performance, the show of it all. And that's basically what the movie is too. You're, at the end of this crazy ride, you're trying to guess the overarching narrative, theme, and messages that it's trying to portray, which there are a bunch. I'm going to shut up now because none of you care. So
yeah, and then I thought the movie was like the menu was like very good, like suspense, like based off of the advertising. I was like, all right, like clearly, like there's something is going to happen, but what is that something? And so just constantly waiting to see like the next thing happening is just like, oh, okay, and it really helped. I feel like build up the movie as it progressed as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I when I saw the trailers, actually, I didn't even want to see the movie because I thought it looked stupid. But
I didn't know that.
I'm really happy that we went, because I was wrong. It's incredible. I made this allegory. I don't know if it's the right word, in the car when me and Nathan were talking about this earlier. The movie that has onion in the title has less layers than the movie that has menu in the title, and a menu is just a flat rectangle with no layers, pretty much. Yeah, okay, you can open it up. There's a couple pages, but it's still a flat rectangle. That movie has more layers than The Onion. I don't understand how people could think it's stupid or they can't understand it. I'm an idiot, okay? I'm dumb. I have a tough time with symbolism and like themes, thematic symbolism, whatever. I had to watch Blade Runner 1 like 5 times to understand what was going on. I'm kind of slow when it comes to understanding these things. I understand the movie perfectly on the first time. If I can do that, there's no excuse for anyone else not to be able to understand. I'm serious. Like I'm very, very, very slow when it comes to these things. Sometimes plots just unfortunately fly over my head and my brain can't keep up sometimes. I don't know why. I understood it perfectly. I picked up on all the themes. I'm still picking up on themes to this day. Nathan enlightened me earlier as well. I'm still learning things that this movie could potentially be pointing towards. Yeah, it's incredible.
I probably should preface this at the start, but I'm not saying The Glass Onion was a film just not worth watching at all. I was not a huge fan of it, but if you like Knives Out, I feel like you won't totally hate this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Menu, I'm not saying, oh, go out, watch it either if you don't want to. It's whatever. I do think that is a pretty decent movie, though.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I am saying go out and watch it. I thought it was really good. Not enough people are talking about it. And you were telling me that some people found the message to be dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah, some people like they understood the film, but just like the kind of like the conclusion of how it got there, people were like, overall, like I get it, but it's just so stupid. I can't like it, type of thing. Which I also don't quite understand.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I just don't understand the disparity between these two movies. Like one movie, people saying, "Oh, I think it's bad," but at least it was entertaining. And another movie, they were like, "Yeah, I get it, but I just thought it was stupid."
There's no double standards.
Okay.
It's so annoying. I don't want to spoil the theme. Go on.
I was saying, it might be a little less annoying, but you should finish your thing before we move on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I don't want to spoil the theme, but I'll just quickly wrap up by saying, as someone who's like experienced what the antagonist goes through in more ways than one, I guess it definitely was easier for me to connect with it and it hit home more, but you shouldn't have to have experienced it to realize that like it's still powerful and that like it's a beautiful thing what happens to him in the end. As dumb as that sounds, I know, but I think it's great. I think it's a great movie. Anyway,
Justin thought like he watched the movie, saw the antagonist was like, "Oh, he's like me. He's like me for real, for real."
He's literally me, bro. He's literally me. It's insane.
You know what else? It's probably not insane, but could be worth talking about our next group of fries.
And they are?
Chick-fil-A.
Chicken fillet, my guys. All right. These are cold. Let's try them.
Are these not fresh? Is not too hot.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. The texture is bad. It feels like I'm chewing on like a foam.
Yeah. And plus,
it feels like I'm chewing on foam.
You got from Chick-fil-A seemed a lot more like undersalted than what I'm used to from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, these ones have no salt on them for whatever version.
No salt.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is terrible. Yeah. Oh my god.
That's some Chick-fil-A sauce. Let me try.
Yeah, I am too lazy to open it, so you just tell me.
I usually eat my Chick-fil-A fries with a Chick-fil-A sauce or
same.
The Chick-fil-A by us has a cheese sauce available, so I'll try it with
what sauce?
Cheese sauce.
Oh, interesting.
It's pretty good, like fries or nuggets or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not every Chick-fil-A has that, though.
Mm-mm. I learned that one day. I'm kind of shocked. I was like, what?
So it tastes a little bit better,
Mhm.
but the texture, still kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, which is a shame.
If you were
Hot,
doing it,
these were fantastic.
if you were doing it fresh, which is what I'm going to base it off of, because I'd usually eat it pretty fresh. Yeah, I might. All right, without sauce, it's probably number 2 right now. So it'd be like Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and then Burger King.
Okay. As they are right now, cold, Shake Shack, Burger King, Chick-fil-A is number 4. It's not number 3. It's bad. I don't like it. It's at the last. Hot. I'm going to say Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and Burger King for hot. For now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, one more time, what is your current standing?
Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and then Burger King.
Okay, so my hot and your current one aligns. And how much, I know how much these cost. They costed $5.30 some odd cents for 2 smalls, which is not bad. It's pretty reasonable. I was expecting,
Yeah,
honestly, them to cost more.
that
so I'm
might
surprised.
have been the cheapest for the day. I'm not sure though. We'll check
Yeah,
when we get to the last one.
Yeah.
But before that, Justin,
Yes.
you, based off of talk about movies, you seem like a guy with opinions about things.
I have one
you
or
form
2
them?
opinions.
So I feel like you might know some things that you consider underrated. Maybe this time we'll specifically talk about some underrated anime, maybe?
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to start off with Eromanga Sensei. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was a good one. It was enjoyable.
Good choice.
What was this? What was the other one? I can't believe my little sister is this cute.
I thought that was pretty good too.
That was pretty good. Pretty good one. No, that's not what I'm talking
I was
about.
lying.
The first one. No. I actually thought it was good, but that's not what I'm talking about. Should I just read? How do you want to do this? Do you want to go back and forth, or?
Yeah, we'll just go back and forth again.
All right, then my first one is a movie that I saw recently. It's called Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt December
15th?
Sorry, no.
25th?
No. What is it? What's the last word in the title? What was it? Gundam. Hold on, I'm sorry. December Sky. Okay, yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky. Long ass title. I've never watched anything Gundam related. I've never built any of the stuff. I'm just not in the universe. It's not something I've partaken in. I played that weird first person shooter for like 2 hours and it was garbage. This was fantastic. From what I'm told by the person who showed this to me, this is the best that you'll get. Hi, Ben. This is the best that you'll get for Gundam. This is like the highest quality. And man, like I can tell it's beautifully animated, beautifully voiced. It's executed in such an interesting way. It basically shows like the message is pretty on the nose. It basically shows the horrors of war and like, just death and destruction from it, while like smooth jazz is playing in the background, and while like people are just getting annihilated, and it's awesome. It reminds me a lot of like the first, yeah. It reminds me of the first episode. What'd you say?
Reminds me a lot of the Alamo.
Yes. Yeah, you were there, weren't you?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's really cool. It's just animated beautifully. The plot is simple to understand. The characters, they don't have any real development too much, but you instantly connect with all of them, and you feel for them. And it definitely makes you
like a follow up to one of the series.
This is,
or is it kind of just
takes
a standalone movie?
kind of, from what I understand, it is a little bit of both. It takes place during the first series, like the original series from the 70s, specifically towards the end.
Yeah.
And this is just a side story of just a group of people while that war is happening. So I don't think it connects too much to like the grand scheme of things. The end does tease some Gundam that, or something related to the finale of the series, but I don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't watched the show. But this is fantastic. As someone who's never seen Gundam, well,
and then I
can't recommend it enough.
Some people overlooking it because it's like they generally hear Gundam and either it's like, okay, I like Gundam, or it's like, oh, I didn't care for Gundam before, so I don't know if I'll care for it now, type of thing.
Sure.
But I feel like I didn't watch it yet. I might now that it's brought up to me though.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's good. It's very grounded. A problem I'm told with, well, as grounded as you could get with giant space robots. Yeah. A problem I'm told from Ben for the rest of the series is that like a majority of the main characters are just young, angsty kids thrown into robots that hate their life, and they just kind of have to be like, oh, I don't want to follow the robot, but I guess I have to. And like sometimes it can be a little too wacky and the robot designs can be a little too weird, but for the most part, everything is relatively grounded from what I've been told. I don't know. It's great. Watch it. What's yours?
All right. So the first one I'm going to bring up, I think I brought this up in the last episode, maybe. I'll bring it up again.
Okay.
Grimgar, Fantasy and Ass. Or in Japanese, Hai Gensho no Grimgar.
I do think you brought this up. That sounds familiar.
Just bringing it up because, again, I really liked it. It kind of like you said, like super grounded because it's like an isekai where people are just randomly brought into a new world. They kind of just use that as a plot point to get things started. Nobody really remembers anything about their original world, and it's not a huge plot point too much.
Sure.
But this story follows people that got here, and they are not just immediately overpowered. They were not given like a blessing by some random goddess or something like that.
Sure.
They got there. There are other people. Other people came out at the same time as them. They formed groups, and they were able to kind of like fit into the new world fine, and even some of them were able to like thrive in the new setting. But this group, they're very underpowered. The group that of the characters we see for this show, kind of like the leftovers of like people not taking them. They're a little bit socially awkward, not super like outspoken. They don't look particularly powerful, and they are not particularly powerful. So as the leftovers, they're kind of like, well, clearly we're not going to do this on our own, so I guess we'll form our group. And it's kind of about them learning how to deal with this new environment, and like learning like how to kind of like kill stuff. Like a single goblin, like even for the group, really isn't that tough, but just the fact that they have to actually kill it and like figure out how to work as a team to get the goblin in a position they can kill it.
Yeah.
Becomes a bit of a challenge for them. But throughout the show, you see them slowly figure it out, get their teamwork, figure out their own skills as well, and also the teamwork, and just kind of eventually put everything together. And you just see them start to grow as a group and kind of get their footing and get to like a fairly good thriving point for this new world that they got put in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that. Send me the name, please, in the Discord. Just I'll forget. I'll never remember.
This link.
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah. I definitely want to check that out. I meant to check it out the first time you said it. I forgot.
Do you have anything else real fast?
Yes.
And you had one more anime you wanted to bring up?
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
real fast.
Yes. Well, shoot, I got a couple, but which one do I want to bring up? Screw it. I'll be true to myself. It's another movie. If you're friends with me, you've probably heard me rave about this to you at one point, like an absolute maniac. Yeah, my neighbor Totoro. Classic. Wow, that's a throwback to episode 1. No, it's called Redline, and it's a movie. There's nothing attached to it. It's its own thing. And it took 7 hand-drawn years to complete. 7 years of hand drawing. And it was so costly and it was so good that it killed the studio. They spent so much money trying to make this thing that there was no way that they'd make any of it back. And once the movie came out, the studio went under. And man, it really tells, or it really shows. Every frame is a wallpaper. And it's just so colorful and so nuts and so intense. And it's about like an intergalactic, interplanetary, like rally race, kind of, not like World Rallycross, but like point A to point B type thing. And the sense of speed and like the explosions, everything is so over the top. The sense of speed is like, the best way I can describe it is, and then we can move on. When you were like, and same thing goes with the explosions, at least for me, when you were playing with like figurines or like Hot Wheels when you were a kid, and like when you were making them go fast or blow up, like in your mind and how you were playing with them, what you saw were like the cars were going like 9 million miles an hour. And like when they exploded, it was like, you know, nuclear bomb sized in your head. And that's how you acted it out as a kid and you felt it. That's exactly what this movie is like. That's what it feels like playing with like Hot Wheels when you were a kid and making them go really fast. That's what it feels like in the movie. And it's awesome. It's so good. It's an incredible movie. I've told everyone I love and care about to go watch this movie. And I will extend it to the 3 people in Germany that listen to this podcast. Go watch this movie. It's insane. I cannot recommend it enough. It's incredible. It's just fantastic. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I mean, I have more, but we don't have time. So,
Okay. All right.
What do we have time for, though? What do we have time for?
Looks like we might have time for another batch of fries.
Yes. So here's a fun little fact.
Some Mackers.
We got Macker Dackers. I bought dinner alongside of the fries because I was hungry, and I accidentally ate all of my fries, but I've eaten enough hot McDonald's and cold McDonald's fries to remember how they taste and how they feel, so I can still give you an accurate reading. So for me, while Nathan chomps on them cold, I love them. I love a good, cold, soggy McDonald's fry. And I'm not joking. I'm serious. I don't know why, but when they're cold and soggy, arguably sometimes they're better than they're hot. I don't know why that I feel that way, but I do. They're great when they're cold and they're soggy, and they're fantastic when they're hot too, of course. So for me, cold, it's got to be number 1. So McDonald's number 1. Shake Shack number 2, Burger King number 3, and Chick-fil-A number 4. But hot, it's difficult. I almost want to tie Shake Shack and McDonald's for number 1 because they were both very good hot. But I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to give it to McDonald's just because I mean they got that, you know, their secret ingredient, the beef flavoring, just adds that little extra flavor to it, and you know. Everyone loves McDonald's fries. So McDonald's, Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and Burger King is at the bottom for a hot. Nathan, what do you think?
I would say something different about like a McDonald's French fry. I'm not usually always a huge McDonald's fan, but I do gotta say, like, their fries, you get them, like, especially if you get them hot and fresh, they are just absolutely delicious.
Incredible.
You don't even need any
Yep.
sauce or anything for them. Just
No, just eat the
down
fry.
on them, yeah.
Yep.
So I think I would definitely put McDonald's at 1. Surprisingly, Shake Shack at 2.
Okay.
And, Chick-fil-A at 3. Though if I had sauce, I'd probably end up putting Chick-fil-A at 2.
Okay.
But without sauce, Chick-fil-A would be at 3. Then 4 is Burger King. I'm not a huge fan of Burger King's French fries. Just don't taste that great to me.
Yeah, no, they don't. I thought I had a receipt for McDonald's, but I can't find it. I think, don't quote me, but I think a small fry costs $2.99. So 2 of them would have been roughly $6.
And you can
Which is on
cook and all
par.
that.
Okay, so one more time. I'll just do my final hot lineup. I'm not going to read both of them again. McDonald's, Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and then Burger King. What is your final lineup?
Yeah, same McDonald's, Shake Shack, Chick-fil-A, and then Burger King.
Oh, let's go. We haven't had a similar one in quite a long time, actually.
Again, that's also just going off of just the fries alone. Chick-fil-A has really good sauces.
Yeah, of course. I
And
mean,
they
Chick-fil-A
good
sauce,
fries.
cheese sauce.
I did have some of these Shake Shack fries with the Chick-fil-A sauce. They really did not
Okay.
taste as good as the Chick-fil-A fries and the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting.
What else is interesting?
No, I don't. Please enlighten me.
People's interest in their desserts.
Okay.
Some of them may be considered overrated.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you out right now.
No. No.
Yeah. So for me,
There's no such thing. Yeah, go.
I think like pretty much anything with lemon in it. I just don't. Do you like a lemon cake or lemon cookies or anything like that?
I don't mind it. It's not something I'll normally order, but from the times that I've had it, I've never really had a negative experience.
I don't know why, but like lemon cakes and like lemon cookies, I'm just not a fan of them. I just don't really care for them. Something against lemons, like I like a lemonade. Maybe
Yeah.
I really think lemonade is the only thing with lemon I particularly like.
Interesting.
I know some people like to put lemon on their chicken. I'm not a huge fan of that either.
I think with everything, in moderation, lemon is great, but the line of too much and too little, it's very easy to cross over. So
Yeah,
that could definitely play a problem. Yeah, I don't usually have a problem with lemon stuff, but I understand why you might. Okay, lemon cakes and cookies. For me, my first one would probably be creme brulee. It's just burnt sugar. Like,
I don't know. Something about that burnt sugar that's pretty good.
hey, I'm glad you like it, but
It's like a
I
little
just taste.
crispy. With a like little
It's
pudding
just-
underneath it.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see it. But then again, I'm not usually eating creme brulees very often, and I can't remember
Yeah,
the
not a lot
last
of
time.
Places have them. I guess it's like
No,
might be
it's more
difficult to
fancy.
make or something.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next one?
A lot of like fruit tarts.
What's a fruit tart exactly?
It's like a tart, but with like fruits in them.
I knew you were gonna say some.
Yeah,
Like, is it like a
You need
Pop Tart? Like,
to bring up like the definition of a fruit tart. Like,
no. Just like describe. I'll just look it up. I just need to know what it looks like. Is what I'm trying to say. Fruit tart. Looks like a pie.
A little bit like a pie, yes.
Huh.
I like fruit. Like,
Okay.
I'll eat fruit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like apples, like strawberries and stuff like that. Like, strawberry shortcake is actually one of my favorite desserts.
Okay.
But fruit hurts. Just, I don't know, something about it. I'd rather have something else for a dessert.
Is it because it's
Maybe a
too
nice
much fruit
creme
and
brulee.
you usually don't like? Shut up! You usually don't like fruit for dessert.
Maybe. I don't know. Something I don't usually like fruit tarts, though.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Anything else on a fruit tart? Or should we move on?
Mm. Yeah, I think that's just about it for fruit tarts. Like,
All right.
have you ever been to an event where they had fruit tarts as a dessert before?
Honestly, maybe, but it's something that I definitely would never decide to eat. So
Just because
I'd
of the
probably
fruit?
just, yeah, I don't want fruit for dessert,
Rather have nice,
or like something primarily fruit. You know, like
a nice dark
apple pie
chocolate
and
mousse.
yeah, that's my next one. I hate dark chocolate mousse.
That's awkward.
Well, and I think it's overrated. I think
So is
dark
it like
chocolate's
chocolate
overrated.
mousse at all, or?
I think chocolate mousse is fine, but if it's specifically dark chocolate just tastes like poison, man. Like, I know
I used to think
it's like
that.
good for your heart. And I know at some point, yeah, I won't think like that, but I'm still of the mindset that it tastes like poison.
I wonder if
I
I'm
don't-
getting old.
You are.
It's
'cause
not
it literally.
like dark chocolate's not my favorite though. Like, I don't just go out and like eat dark chocolate,
chocolate?
like that.
hmm
But it's there. I might have some, and usually my reaction is I'll go. It's been from like, oh, I don't really like this to this really isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Sometimes if it's like a good one too, like I would not mind just eating it.
Someone's getting old.
Getting
How could
old
you?
and developing refined tastes.
Yeah, that's what they say. Okay, fair. Yeah, dark chocolate mousse is. I don't know, I just don't like it. It's weird because it's like it's airy because it's a mousse. It's very light, and then you put it in your mouth, and it's very this heavy dark chocolate taste, and just the contrast doesn't help for me. What's your next one? If you have a next one.
So tiramisu, is that the one that tastes like coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for that either.
Fascinating. I like tiramisu, but I hate coffee.
That's the thing. I'm not a big coffee fan, and like for some reason, tiramisu always tastes just. I mean, I'm sure there's a very easy reason you can think of for why it might taste just like coffee, but it really does taste exactly like 100% just coffee without fail too. Like it always does.
Okay, fair. For me, it's like what I want coffee to taste like. It has that coffee flavor, but it's creamy and it's sweet on top
Like,
of all or below all that.
Starbucks.
I hate I hate coffee. So
Have you had
just
like
that.
something from Starbucks, but that's not just like a coffee?
Yeah. I mean, we've had them on the show too. The super crazy crafted drinks that like pretty
What
much
about,
don't
like,
resemble
the-
coffee,
What about like the strawberry
fine.
ones?
like the refreshers.
Maybe I can't remember exactly what I'm thinking of.
If it's the refreshers, it's still technically coffee, and that's fine. Those are perfectly fine because it doesn't actually taste like coffee. But basically, the further you get away from coffee with whatever coffee drink it is, I'm totally fine with it. The more sweetener and cream and caramel is in it, the better. I don't like the taste of coffee. It's disgusting, and I don't understand how people do. I don't get it.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
Also, it's like cocaine, and like half of the world is addicted to like a literal drug, so that's cool too. But whatever, it makes you poop, I guess, so that's fun.
It does.
Let me see. Do you have anything else? Do I have anything else? I do have one more. Do you have one more?
No.
Okay, I have one more. Now, granted, I haven't tried it in a while, so next time maybe I give it another go. But I've never quite understood pudding.
Really, pudding.
Never liked pudding. It was always like this weird halfway point between Jell-O and ice cream in my brain, and I just don't like where it sits. It's just weird. I don't like
pudding. If I'm out at like a restaurant, I don't really want pudding for dessert. I would rather have like a cake. But I'm at home, or maybe like if I bring my own lunch somewhere, maybe get like a little snack pack pudding, or if I'm at home, maybe make like the Jell-O brand mixed pudding. Like I love that. It's pretty good.
Easy to make too. Fair enough. I don't know. I think it gets too much hype.
A lot of good flavors as well. Do you not like the snack packs?
I haven't had one in a very long time, so my opinion isn't that valid. But yeah, I've never been a huge fan. Never understood why people like it.
Do you like Jell-O?
Yeah, I love Jell-O.
I'm not a big fan of Jell-O.
Ooh,
I think it tastes pretty good, but it has a weird texture.
Weird.
Sometimes
Interesting.
People put stuff in it.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I don't like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like eyeballs.
People do that. And hot dogs.
Yeah.
I love hot dog Jell-O. Yeah, I like Jell-O. I don't like pudding.
Would you like Jell-O if I made it with a hot dog water?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, I would actually. That'd be great.
Okay.
So if you could get on that, that'd be wonderful.
We'll see about that.
All right, thank you so much, Nate. That's disgusting. Okay, well, yeah, I don't really have anything else. Those are pretty much all the things I can think of off the top of my head. I don't eat too much dessert, and the desserts I eat are ones that I generally like and don't think are overrated.
Yeah, true.
Well, do you have anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Okay, well, then that's it for us. This has been episode 24 of the Whole Lotta podcast. We got a Twitter. I don't think anyone's following it. I haven't even looked at it, to be brutally honest, in a couple weeks. So no idea what's going on with that, because I don't have a reason to, because no one follows us yet. So yeah, maybe follow us, please. I have YouTube, Super Steelman 777. I am working on a video as we speak. This podcast is also on YouTube. If you bought a podcast subscription service to solely listen to this podcast, you don't have to do that. You can just go on YouTube. That's about it. Hopefully next episode will be an interesting one.
I hope all episodes are interesting.
They're not, Nathan.
Yeah,
don't kid yourself.
You
all right,
at least half of them or more.
Damn, you got me. That was good. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. Good night and good luck.
Yep. Have a good one.